I'm Shannon Johnson with Journey Home Realty. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, I am joined by George
Gori.
Thank
Yep,
you.
no problem.
And he is the owner and operator of Fit Bodies Gym, and it's more than just a gym. It has so many things. So, George, can you tell us a little bit about how you got started, what brought you to Hampton Roads, and why did you start in this arena of health?
Okay, well, my background is actually physical education. Went to college on a full ride wrestling scholarship. I graduated from Pocosin, and so that's why I was kind of always, in touch with this area.
Yeah.
So I went to college, and I really didn't like college. So
That's
it
fair.
just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Again, had a full ride, decided it wasn't for me. My aunt had actually introduced me to training and stuff because I was very much into physical fitness. And so she actually bought me my first certification.
Oh, wow.
So I, felt like, training was a good avenue. I could actually be in the physical fitness arena without having to go to a bunch of college. And I realized that, kids and I are fine, but that's not my primary. I was raised different, and kids are different, and, trying to discipline and things of that nature. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got into fitness in the very beginning. I had an uncle that introduced me to fitness prior to that, but just knowing that I wanted to do something in fitness as a career.
Yeah.
Went to several different jobs in the beginning. I worked for Gold's. I worked for Valley Total Fitness. Oh. And I felt the Lord call in my life in my early 20s that I was going to own my own gym and I was going to franchise.
Awesome.
So big aspirations, went down a lot of crazy roads, too long for this interview, but it brought me to the point where I had my first gym. I was doing my own thing. I was doing pretty well. It was just personal training. No.
Okay. So not like a whole gym.
Yep.
Okay.
No gym side of it. I saw the market kind of turning.
Mm-hmm.
And as a business owner, you realize that you have to stay, in touch with your customers and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I realized that the personal training market was kind of, not that it was disappearing, but the studio kind was diminishing. So I transitioned and we went to a gym, client-only gym. And then a year or two later, we transitioned into a full-on 24-hour gym open to the public.
So this is open 24 hours?
Yes, it's 24 hours.
That's awesome.
We have 2 locations. So my first one has been open since 2003.
Okay.
As a personal training studio. Then like I said, I went to a gym. So this marks 20 years this year.
Wow.
In business.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
And then in 2018, we opened our second location.
Which is here?
Which is this one in Yorktown. And we are currently hoping to open another one within the next year.
Wow.
Probably later this year in Texas.
Holy cow.
So we're starting to get towards our goal.
Okay.
So gym-wise, we offer personal training.
Okay.
24-hour, 7 days a week.
Which is incredible because people have different hours and people prefer to not be around large crowds.
Yeah. That was another big thing for us was could I open a big gym?
Yeah.
I could open a bigger gym, have less kind of overhead by having more than one location, but then I'm catering to this massive group of people, and there's no relationships being built. Our gym is built on relationships. Our motto is love people, not their money.
Agreed.
So if we love our people, the money just comes. They will spend money
100%.
on whatever. Mm-hmm. So we just started doing that, and we kept them small. And people have relationships. We don't have a lot of TVs at our gyms. Some of them are set up for like our podcast, which we do have as well. But a lot of it is designed so that the member, will come in and communicate and talk and get to know one another. Because the more that you work out and the more you feel connected with those that you work out with, the more that you're going to want to come back, right?
Right.
And you develop that community. You develop good habits. And as you develop good habits, you make wiser decisions, and you get to whatever goal you might have, whether it's doing a show, playing a sport, doing an activity, keeping up with your grandkids. We've got ages from teenager to 90.
Wow.
We over COVID, we actually had a 100-year-old guy who didn't pass away from COVID, but passed away during that period.
Oh,
but he
wow.
was over 100 years old.
Wow.
So kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, that's the gym side of it. But something else I'm pretty excited about is we are in the process. We are a week or two from opening our food truck.
Which is super exciting to have a healthy option food truck.
Exactly.
So you're not standing at the food truck festivals like, okay, what can I work into my day?
Yeah. And so that's really why I opened it. I've always liked food trucks. Mm-hmm. It's always been kind of like you go up to a food truck, the nostalgia of the food truck, and you're just looking and you're like, oh, this is so cool. You're smell the food. You're wide-eyed,
yeah.
Yeah, so I said, why don't we bring a healthy food truck locally, but also market the gym. So both sides of my food truck has pictures of the gym.
Okay.
So that way, if someone was into fitness and they wanted to check out our gym, they can scan a QR code on the side of the food truck, check out our gyms. They can eat our food. They can have some coffee.
Yep.
I actually put up a patio on the back of it. So
that's nice.
There's going to be like lighting that you'd see at a restaurant, the little hanging lights.
Yeah, the little string lights.
Yep. And then we have neons that go around, and I put in USB ports so people could charge their phones.
Awesome.
Sit around this deck, eat. So not your typical food truck either.
Right.
So those make it pretty awesome and pretty cool, but also it is 100% solar powered.
Which has to be my favorite thing because it's so sustainable all by itself.
Yes. So all day long, it runs off of the sun, and we've got a battery bank. So the sun would, obviously provide energy towards the batteries, and then the batteries power all of the equipment that's on board. So the refrigerators, the microwaves, the coffee machines, the blenders, all of the internals are controlled or powered by sun. So now, obviously, it's not drivable by the sun,
right?
But everything inside of it is solar powered. So that's a pretty awesome.
No, it's super awesome because I think we're always trying to find ways to leave less of a footprint.
Yeah.
And you figured that out in a way that also ties to your passion.
Yeah.
And I am very much with you. I'm a firm believer that, your fitness it's a journey. It's a lifestyle. It can't be seasonal.
No.
And it has such lasting benefits, and you can truly heal yourself from within with food and exercise. So I am a firm believer in that. And so I was so captivated by what you bring, not just the gym, but also the food truck. Yeah. And being a female, I am always looking for like smaller gym environments because it's daunting to walk into a large gym. Yeah. So I love that about you. So I do have to know, what do you think, because you have come a long way and you have a lot to teach us.
Yeah.
What has been your most challenging obstacle from owning your own business?
I think really just pivoting. I mean, COVID made me realize very quickly that in a moment's notice, life can change.
Yes.
So I had to really pivot. I mean, I opened a screen printing business during COVID. I pivoted to, online personal training. Mm-hmm. So that's another service we provide is online virtual training. You have to pivot. So I think that was the hardest thing I had to learn was, you can't rely on one source of income. Mm-hmm. And so we pivoted, and still keeping our motto, love people, not their money.
Yes.
So we just continue to love on people, to share with them through the internet, Zoom, and all of those things, starting a podcast and bringing members on the podcast. I think sometimes podcasts are so focused on the celebrity that your average everyday gym owner or gym member gets lost. And they're like, well, I'll never be on something like that. Or my voice can't be heard.
Right.
Whereas we bring it to them. And not every member, but a member that comes to us or that we feel like would be great for the show, we'll approach. And so, they're able to share their story or share something that's influenced them or impacted them.
No, and I think that has a huge impact on probably your members because you're meeting people where they are. Yeah. You're not expecting them to come to you fully ready, fully armed to do this. I think that's most people's fears of walking into a gym is not knowing where to start. Yeah. And you're meeting them where they are in life and you're bringing them to the public side and making them relatable so that the woman who just had a kid,
Yeah.
you know, at 40 years old can come in and know that she's not alone, that everybody started there.
Yeah.
So I think it's huge, and it has such a lasting impact on people. So now I have to know, what has been your favorite, most memorable customer experience since you've started?
I've had several. So obviously that's kind of a hard thing. But the first one that came to mind when you said that was I had a gentleman who I was offering a program several years ago that I provided free personal training for one person who was nominated by the community. So by people, they shared their story, and we read all the stories as a gym, and we picked somebody, and then I trained them. And this young man, he weighed about 400 pounds.
Wow.
And he trained, and he lost about 100 pounds within like 3.5 months.
Wow.
So he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Just that experience to watch the joy that came about from, you know, his confidence that he built in that, his endurance and his ability to be able to do things that he never could do before, you know, and to know his story.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it, is just knowing the struggle that he's had with weight, and the struggle that, you know, that he had been fighting in some other personal issues in his life that, you know, caused some of these things. It was really cool to kind of watch him, you know, overcome those things and be able to lose that weight, which is, I mean, that in itself is a person.
Oh, absolutely. It's a whole person.
Yeah.
And just, I'm sure that young man, just what you gave back to him in life, not only in years of longevity, but also his everyday life. So I think that's what's so powerful about gyms, is people don't realize that it's such a family unit. It's not just you on your own. It's a journey that you take with others. And most gyms that I've ever attended, you become families. We always say it's our tribe. It's the tribe of people that you're enveloped in. So I do love what you offer here. I'm so thankful for your time. Thank you for letting me come in.
Thank you for letting me be here.
And I will put his podcast on the description of this video so that you can follow him, because they are available everywhere to be streamed. George, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So again, I have George here with Fit Bodies, and I'm Shanon Johnson with Journey Home Realty. If you or someone you know would like to be featured on our channel, please reach out to us. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.